Hi guys, welcome to another mix and match challenge. This little video we're focusing on posture and things that will strengthen our upper, mid, lower back, even the back of our hips. It would be good if you had some weights. I have 3 pounds. You could probably use up to 5 or as little as some soup cans, whatever you have around the house. You might hear the boys in the background. We just got back from the beach and we're squeezing in a quick one before supper. Yeah, so let's come on to hands and knees and just set the weights to the side for a minute because we're just going to warm up our spine with a little bit of mobilization. Just having those knees under the hips and the hands under the shoulders, a nice, long, lovely, neutral spine. And as you breathe in, I want you to sag a little bit. I want you to let the tailbone rise, the breastbone pull forward, the face rise a little bit, and that back will move into extension. And then as you exhale, I want you to draw the tummy back towards the spine. I want you to start rounding up just generally into a cat stretch, not focusing on segment by segment, but really trying to picture that your, like the peak of your arch is at the bottom of your shoulder blades. And then release. As you breathe in, move down into that beautiful extension, and don't just think of dropping and forcing the spine into a deep extension, but think of lengthening in this moment. And then exhale. Think of pulling the ribs a little closer to the hips in the front, bringing the forehead towards the thighs, getting that lovely round back. And we'll just do one more breath like this. Moving into extension. Moving into beautiful flexion. Gorgeous. And settling into nice neutral. Step back with your right leg. Have that nice level pelvis. Be strong in the upper body, and then step back with the left leg to join. We're just going to move from our lovely tall plank into a beautiful pyramid. So starting to lift the sit bones towards the sky. Sink the heels. Draw the hips back away from the hands. Be strong in that upper body. And imagine dropping the chest a little bit towards your toes. So that's where you're going to get some shoulder and some back extension. Lift the heels, pivot strongly back to your plank. Picture length from your heels to the top of your head. Draw in with the low belly. Pull the low ribs back, and then lift into your pyramid again. Sink the heels. Raise the heels back to your tall plank. And we'll just oscillate between these two positions a little bit quicker, and for 4 more times, just to warm up our upper body, warm up our core, getting tall in that spine, and picturing as we move into the pyramid, that nice straight spine and that length from tailbone to crown of the head. Beautiful. Last one. On this one, you'll pause in your tall plank, you'll check your form, and then you'll drop your knees and come back to all fours. Have your weights, and if your weights are the type that you can fit your finger, like this dumbbell shape, then you might be able to be on the weights in this exercise. If not, that's fine. You can be on your hand if you had like a toning ball or something, or you're using a soup can, and then you can do your motion with the other hand. But if you want, you can just add a little variety to your workout by being on the weights, sort of as handles. Right? Awesome. And we're going to start by just picturing the center of us over the center of the mat. And we're going to raise one arm, the right arm, out to the side, and lower it back down. And then you're going to do that right arm again. But I really want you to see what really happens. Are you absolutely still in that upper body? Are you strong and wide across the chest? And are you wide between your spine and your shoulder blade? And lower it back down. And then check in on the left side. Sort of same thing. Left arm up. How does that feel? Lower it down. Do one more just as a check, because you really would like the center of you, like breastbone, tummy button, to stay over the center of the mat. You want to almost respond as you lift the arm by pressing the whole chest away from the mat and being extra strong in the shoulder that is still down there. All right. Now we're going to combine it. I'm actually not very comfortable. My weights are a little too small to do that. And since we're doing a repeater on one side, I'm going to come down onto my hand. And here we're going to go with the knee. So my left knee is going to go out to the side, keeping that pelvis level. And at the same time, right arm is reaching out to the side. Lower it down and repeat. And I want you to focus on the arm and focus on being broad from the spine to the tip of your shoulder and being long and extended in that arm. So really reaching out, 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 out. Good. 3 more. 2. Hold this one out to the side, and you're going to pulse it to think more about the arm. You're going to lift it a little higher, and at the same time, press the chest away from the mat a little more so that you're really strong in the arm that is staying on the mat. Yeah. Good. Lower it down. Take a little break if you need it. Get yourself organized. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. So right hand is now on the mat, left arm's going out to the side. At the same time, right leg, that knee is reaching low to the mat, pressing wide and lower. And how does this feel? Do you feel as steady in the waist on this side? Do you feel as broad through the chest? Is the head and neck still in line with the rest of the spine, or are you sneaking a peek at your knees? Yeah, that's pretty good. And depending how big of a weight you picked, if you're doing the 5 pounds, you're feeling this, I hope. Good. And let's hold this for a little pulse. And lift the arm. You can lift the knee too, but focus more on that arm because we're doing upper back posture. Press the chest away from the mat a little more. Yeah. And release it down. Beautiful. Rock it back into just a little bit of a shell stretch. You're not lingering, you're coming right forward. Perfect. And we're going to put the, what did we do last time? Right arm first. So right arm holds a weight. Left leg is back. Plant the toes. Be strong in that left arm. Really spread the fingers. Press into the pads of the fingers, like the tips of the fingers almost, so that you're not suffering in your wrist. And just start with the arm, but I want you to lift it up in front of you. And lower it down. And if it's too much with the weight, do it without. But what I'd like you to really make sure is that you keep that shoulder down, away from the ear. It's not rising up to touch the ear. And that you're also feeling wide across the collarbone and not getting really narrow in the front of the chest. So the power to lift the arm is happening around the shoulder blade. It's like you're feeling the whole shoulder pull out to the side away from your midline, away from your spine. So if you can do it with the weight, great. Hold the low ribs back, hold the tummy in, and we have weight lifts and lowers. And just do it twice with the arm only, and then if it feels good, we can add in the leg and lower. Each time when the leg and the arm get to their peak, you're drawing in with the low belly, right? Because you're trying to keep that back nice and still and not have any change in that spine alignment. Let's do 3 more. 2. Hold this one up. Good. Press the chest away from the mat. Get more space between rib cage and mat, and then lift that arm. Just for a pulse. But try to feel that width in the collarbone area, across the tips of the shoulder. Yay. And release it down. Get organized and change sides. So right leg is back. Do the left arm only first, raising the arm and lowering it back down. And it's not how high you get it, it's can you do the motion that's available with good form. Right? You can work on mobility later and you can work on mobility in other exercises. Here you're working on good form. Add the leg lift if you wish, or focus just on the arms. Hopefully feeling that upper back nice and strong. Drawing in with the low ribs. Drawing in with the abdominals as the leg reaches its peak. For 2. Hold this one. And pulse it a little bit. 3, for 2, for 1. Lower down and rock it back. Just taking a nice breath there. And then coming down onto your belly, setting the weights off to the side. And just placing the hands in that W position at your sides, the forehead lovingly tucked into the mat at first. Sorry, fix my little elastic here. Get your pelvis nice and neutral and happy. There we go. Take a nice breath in to prepare. And on your out breath, draw in with the low belly. Lift up with the face and the throat and the breastbone. And when you're here, you're going to set yourself. So you're going to see if you could bring your collarbones a little bit wider. Feel like somebody's pulling this upper arm bone, the right one to the right, and this one, the left one, to the left, so that you're broader than a doorway. Even if you're not really. That's your vision. And then you're also sliding the shoulder blades down your back. And then you're going to feel like someone's got a string at the top of your head, and they're pulling it up towards the upper part of the wall in front of you, where the wall meets the ceiling. So lifting, 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 lengthening, shoulders sliding down your back, drawing in with the low belly, and just hitting that perfect position so that then we can speed it up. So lower down, and peel back up. Using that exhale to feel longer, to feel the connection between the abdominals and those postural back muscles. And if it feels right, you can press into the forearms again a little bit and add just a little bit of almost dragging the breastbone forward, pressing a little bit higher, only if it feels comfortable. Let's just do 2 more. Peeling up and lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Beautiful. And last one. Gorgeous. Perfect. And then we're going to tuck the toes and keep the pelvis nice and still. Draw in with the belly. Squeeze the knees straight so the thighs are just floating off the mat. And then you're going to point your toes and hold them there. Good. Press up a little higher in the breastbone, throat, face. And then we're going to rock a little bit here. So you're going to lower the legs, and you're going to do it by lifting the chest a little more. So press into the arms like you're a rocking chair. The legs lower, and then as you allow the breastbone to lower back down, you lift the legs a little bit. But you don't lose this arch position. You don't do more at your low back. You just smoothly massage the tummy and the pelvis along the mat, if it's comfortable. We're just going to try 4 or 5. Nice breath in. Draw in with the low belly. Press up, press up, press up gently, but lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. The feet go down to the mat. And then as you lower the upper body, you've squeezed the glutes. You're lifting the thighs, but you're still drawn in with the belly, and you're not allowing that back to overextend. And again, float the feet down as you lift more in the breastbone and you press through the hands, coming up. And then you lower down, allowing the feet to float back up. So you should feel a lot of work happening around the glutes, the back of the hips, the back of the bum, through the back muscles, but always matched with the strength in the abdominals. And you might feel a little fatigue in the upper and mid back if that's a weak area for you, right? Because you're having to continuously hold this extended, nice posture position, eh? Lower down. And then lower the feet. You're just at a low hover with the upper body. And we're going to do that lovely breaststroke because that's a great one for posture. So breathe in to prepare. And on your exhale, you're lowering the face a little bit towards the mat, the throat, and you're letting the arms extend overhead, but again, keeping those shoulders away from the ears. On your breath in, you're pressing those arms, sort of palms, the thumbs are down here, palms are out to the side. And they're going to come down by your hips. And at the same time, you're drawing in with the belly And you're lifting, lifting, lifting. You're opening across the chest. You're drawing the shoulder blades back towards the ceiling, sliding the fingertips down towards your feet, and you're getting long out of the top of your head. And we'll do it faster. We'll do it for 8. So exhaling to lower and reach forward. Inhale to lift in the chest and sweep the arms behind. The legs stay heavy on the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lift. If you do a reverse breath, that's okay. It's just almost natural to breathe like this, because if you were swimming, clearly you'd be breathing as you lift your head out of the water, right? Lifting. Always going more for length, though, than overdoing it in the low spine, right? Draw in the abdominals, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Reach forward. Sweep the arms around, always feeling that broad shoulder sensation. Good. Beautiful. And last one. Hold this one with the arms back. Turn the palms upward. Lift a little higher in the breastbone if it's comfortable, and then pulse the arms towards the ceiling for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Beautiful. Bring the arms underneath the rib cage. Lower the face. Just bend the knees and do a little sort of roll of the hips side to side. A little motion of the tummy across the mat. Good. And then center the knees. Take a nice breath. Draw in with the low belly and press up. Beautiful. And then take your time where we were in extension, but let those hips rock back towards your heels. Softening in the hips, lengthening in the low back. And we'll do a little active mobilization here. So leave the arms forward and then scoop forward like you've got a bar in front of you. You got to get underneath of it. Keep the breastbone, the nose, the throat low to the mat. Come forward. Let's move into a cat stretch from there. Just a general one. Yeah. Rock the hips back towards the heels. Snake it forward. And up. Cat stretch again. Rock the hips back towards the heels. Beautiful. Scoop it forward. Awesome. This time, let the hips sit back towards the heels. Lower the forehead to the mat. Wrap the arms around by the feet. And then just let the shoulder blades spread apart. Let the area you just worked get wide, get long, get relaxed. And take that breath successively deeper. Filling the low ribs with air and taking it deeper into the low back, upper pelvis. Eventually connecting with the tailbone, sit bones, pelvic floor area. Gorgeous. And on your next out breath, you can use the hands for support if you need. Roll it up to nice tall kneeling. And then you're going to do just one more thing before we sign off. And I'd like you don't have to sit if you're not comfortable to sit in this tall kneeling or this kneeling position. You could just stand. But I'd like you to have your neutral low back pelvis. And I want you to feel that you keep your low ribs back. But I want you at the same time to imagine that you have like a little string on the breastbone or a hook on the breastbone that's lifting the breastbone up and forward. So you're getting that lift and that height through the front of the spine, not through shoving the ribs forward, or swaying in the low back. So get yourself into whatever posture you normally live in. Not this, of course, because you do a lot of Pilates. But then find your neutral pelvis low back. Hold the ribs back with strength, so you're already a little active in the abdominals. And then I want you to feel that you have this lift of the breastbone, sort of away from the tailbone, that direction. That the weight of the head is over the rest of the body. And in that position, we're going to take the arms, we're going to reach them out to the sides and overhead. And then I want you to imagine pressing those upper arms back towards the imaginary wall behind you, holding those low ribs back, lifting the breastbone, keeping the head back, and keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Right? And from here, you're just going to press them back a little bit more, just gently, for 3. Take a breath. Press them back a little more for 2. Press them back a little more for 1. Perfect. And then lower the arms to your sides, directly out from the shoulders. So you're wide across the chest, but you're still, once again, you're held back in the low ribs. And you're going to open more across the chest. You're going to let those arms go behind you, behind you, behind you to get that width across the chest. You're still feeling like you're lifting the breastbone. Nice breath in. Exhale to close it up in front of you. And release and shake it out. Good. Hopefully you're feeling alive and strong in your upper back, open across your chest, and you're ready to go be taller for the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. See you later for another mix and match. Ciao.